Hi everyone. So today what I want to talk about is journaling and why it's important to journal as a psychic or as an intuitive. Now, one thing I want to tell you that I do is I carry around a little pocket notebook. It's like this big. I mean, it's really small. And what I do in it is I write down my intuitive hits. I write down what I feel, what I see, anything like that. And that way I have confirmation for myself and I'm making a note of it. I may not be able to act on it right then and there. I may be in the grocery store. I may be at work. So I cannot, I just may not be able to act on it right then and there, but I have it. So that way I can act on it later, or I can be like, oh, okay, that's something interesting. I'll have to look into that. Another good thing you can do with journaling, and the one thing I have done, is I have a fears and emotion journal. And this is where I can write down all of my fears and my emotions. So that way they're not all stuck up here. That way I can get them out onto paper. And the other thing I find very interesting is yes, they do come from here. But then sometimes I get them from here as well because the heart is connected to the hand. And that's a really good way to get to the real core issue of things is to write about them. And you could just do conscious thought where you just like write down the words that are coming into your head and just be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then you start getting this real profound stuff. That's when you know you're in your heart. So I just want to give you a quick example of a fear I had. I'm afraid to open the shop. I'm afraid of it because I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I'm worried that no one will get a reading, no one will ever ask me for a reading, and I will be made a complete fool of. I'll be a failure because no one has asked for one. I thought that this was Spirit's will, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just my own ego getting in the way again. I'm so anxious. I don't know what to do. I'm not really sure what to do. I think that I shouldn't open it, but I think I should open it at the same time. It's really hard at this point. I want to open it, but I don't want to open it. I guess the main thing I'm afraid of is the fear of failure. Not only of failure, but also the fear of letting people down. Most the person that I'm most worried about letting down is my mom and myself. And then there's more, but I don't really want to get into it because it's kind of long. Like there's lots of pages. But that was what I was afraid of. And you can really get to the core issue of your fears if you write about them. And so I shared a fear with you. That's what I was afraid of. Another great thing you can have is a dream notebook. And this is where I just write down all my really like the dreams I remember, the really vivid dreams, and I write all of those down. And that way I can go back and look at them and be like, oh, I dreamt about this, or I dreamt this was going to happen. I have very prophetic dreams, so that's why I write them down. But I also write them down so that way I can see what I'm dealing with subconsciously. Because that's also what dreams do. They help us with the subconscious parts of our mind. And then I have a psychic messages journal, which I write in after my meditations because during my meditations, what I do is, I get all grounded and I ask, what would you like me to know before I do any cards? And then whatever message comes through, and for me, it's a picture in my head, or it's just a thought that comes in for me. And then I write it down. So that's just one thing. Now, I haven't filled this one up yet because I just literally got it, but I do have a message and I would like to share with you if you would all be willing to listen. So let me just get to one real quick here. Let's see, where's a good one? Where's a good one? Oh, okay, this is an interesting one. So this is from my guides. There is nothing to luck. Luck is nothing more than what you create when you enter the vibration of flow, when you enter the flow of life. There really is no such a thing as bad luck or good luck. It is simply synchronicity because you have entered the flow of life. Flow. Then I asked if there was any archangel who had a message for me, and this is the only thing I got. Move through from Archangel Uriel. Another really good one that I really like and would really like to share, and I was very floored because I don't think this way, and that's how you know you're doing good channeling, because you don't normally think this way. Music is very healing because it brings forth the vibration of joy. It also brings forth the vibration of sorrow. It also brings forth the vibration of sadness, respect, triumph. Music can be very healing because music is a representation of the person in a vibratory form. It is their own emotions, it is their own feelings that are coming through. It is frequency itself, that the frequency of someone, and they are getting through to you because you may be in that exact resonance. That is why music is so healing. So I don't normally think like that, but I thought it was very interesting. And there's lots of other messages in here from my guides and, archangels or angels in general. And it's a really good way to practice. And it's also just good and cathartic for you to write. That way you get validation for yourself that you are getting intuitive messages. You can make notes of it. And that's why I feel that journaling is so important, because you can keep track of where you've been and now where you are. Because this journal right here was the first journal I ever got. I started it in January of January 1st, 2010. And the first thing I have written here at 3:35, and I don't know if this was in the morning or at night, but I heard what sounded like muffled voices talking. Went to look around the house. No TVs were on. Didn't see anything. 9:30, I'm guessing that same day. Woke up. I only remember a little bit of my dream. I'm at a psychic's house. I walk in and they tell me with me, and they drink something. I do. Then they tell me I need to get rid of it. We go into the room and then I am told it's gone, but I still feel it. No idea, but and then it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, and it keeps on evolving and becoming more and more. And more. These were 100 ways to say no. This was something I was practicing because it was to help me stand in my own personal power. 100 ways to say no. And this, I would have never done this, to be perfectly honest. I always say yes. It's very hard for me to say no. But I just decided it was time for me to say no. And I found 100 different ways to say no. So that's from, where you can definitely see where you were to where you are now. And that's why I feel that journaling is so important. I think that everyone should journal. So I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon.